Hey guys, it's gunsblazing once again, and yesterday, after much tilting and playing for about 12 hours straight, I finally qualified for the Final Qualifiers. So I did most of it off stream or unrecorded, so sorry to those that wanted to see more of that footage, but when finals comes around, Final Qualifiers, I will get some recorded footage of it. Streaming will be questionable because it's on the weekend. It's outside of my stream schedule, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so the classic Desert Twister, except with double Hene instead of triple Digref, is the first deck that I tried to go for King of Games with. I got to Plat 3 with 4 wins in the streak, and then I dropped the 5th game because I'm a boosted animal. But it's still a good choice for climbing because a lot of your opponents will be Harpies, right? And this deck pretty much counters Harpies. The only problem is that almost everyone in the NA server knows what Desert Twister does, so they're not going to blindly Harpy down your face down Wild Tornadoes anymore. Alright, so the actual deck I got to King of Games with was this D-Gate Jowls Harpy variant. And the thing with D-Gate is that if you control an enemy's monster with Jowls or enemy controller, if you D-Gate it out and it returns to the field, it's actually special summoned to your side of the field. It doesn't return to your opponent. And I think the reason this got me that 5-game win streak is because it caught people off guard. Like, not everyone knows about this Jowls D8 thing yet. But I think this is not the most optimal version of this deck. Like, I think if you want to climb with Harpies, this is a similar idea, but it's, in my opinion, higher win rate. It doesn't use Jowls, but you can still use Econ D-Gate. And I replaced Sphere Ebola with Security Orb because since you're facing a lot of Harpies, if they destroy your face down Security Orb, you get to destroy one of their monsters. And also, you use their Harpies Hunting Ground to destroy your own Security Orb, you can still destroy a monster because it's considered their spell or trap effect. Another deck I want to mention and one I attempted to climb with was this 3-star demotion Relinquished variant that uses Flame Ogre, also known as the Secret deck. And I thought it was going to be super strong, but it turns out I only got to around Plat 1 or 2 with it. So yeah, that's just for the people who were wondering what the secret deck was. Anyways, I want to leave you guys with a tip. So always adapt your deck and your card choices to the decks that you would counter the most often on the ladder. King Halo said, if you think about how you can win against the most common decks, your win rate will go up dramatically. Ignore the uncommon decks. It is better to have a win rate of 80% against 80% of the decks rather than have a win rate of 60% versus everything. And that's from the King Halo interview after the KC Cup. So at this point in time, it might change, but be prepared to face a lot of Harpies. Plat is infested with them. And if you don't want to play Harpies yourself, a good counter to them would be the Swift Gaia Storm deck, which I realized after the climb because it destroys their Harpies Hunting Ground and then it lets you control the board. I don't have a recent video on the deck, but I think Duel Links Meta's channel has a guide on that. Anyways, for today's video, I'll be showing a couple replays from the qualifiers run, but after that it's mostly going to be dual room duels because that's what the stream was. The queue times were 10 minutes or longer at King of Games, so I couldn't find any matches. Anyways, enjoy the clips. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Alright, so this is a game against Weevil using my last gamble Desert Twist deck. I'd say Weevil is either the 3rd, 4th, or 5th most common deck that I've been facing, that I did face during my climb. Anyways, for his turn he just sets a monster, and thankfully he only gets 1 parasite in my deck. I go ahead and set my Wild T in case of Mask of the Cursed or Burning Land, and I go in with my Blue Drag Summoner. Turns out it was the Mask of the Cursed variant, so he picks up his Mask Scaring out of his deck, which he's gonna equip onto my Blue Drag Sum. So his turn comes around, he sets another monster, hits me up with that Mask. And at this point I could use my Wild Tornado, but I choose not to because if I use Storm, I can actually get a 2-for-1. So I can destroy this face down, and I get to destroy a face up with Wild Tornado. So I could potentially clear his entire back row right there. I choose to hold it for a little bit longer though. Anyways, he picks up his Jade Insect, and the reason Desert Twister has a slight edge over Weevil decks is not only because of Supremacy Berry, but because since we're running Ladybug, if he pops us with his Jade Insect Whistle, we can pick up one of our Ladybugs instead of his Parasite. But as you know, the game decides to screw me, and right after the Ladybug is a Parasite. And in protest to this, I'm like, nah, I'm not having none of that. And so I storm off my Wild Tornado, and what I actually do instead of destroying the mask is I just destroy my own Blue Dragon Summoner. And this triggers a search in my deck, which triggers a reshuffle after I pick up a card, which means that Parasite is reshuffled as well. And then I just go in with my Digraph. Turns out to be a Cobra Jar. Not too threatening because we're still at a healthy 3,500 against this deck whose goal is to burn us down. Last Gamble Desert Twister has a very high win rate against this deck. So he Jade Insects once again. And I got that second Ladybug. So as you can see, this deck was completely shut down by the D-Twizzy. And to rub even more salt in the wound, I hit him with that Ladybug Feminism Betray. The Ladybug that he made a search for. That's it for the replay. There were a lot of misplays in this game from both sides, but I think it's these misplayed Clown Fiesta duels that can sometimes turn out to be the most interesting, you know? Anyways, a little about this matchup. The first turn player has a bit of an advantage because they can gambage earlier, but it can be offset if the second turn player plays defensively so that they can't do that. Anyways, my only play for turn 2 is to just set this 4-star Ladybug. Since I can't really Wild T Storm anything, he goes in with his Digraph, and that gets destroyed. I draw a brick. He doesn't pick up another monster, fortunately, or we would have been in trouble. I draw a brick again, which is pretty crazy considering that there are more monsters in this deck than spells or traps. Anyways, a brick draw for the third time. So I'm getting really salty at this point, but he decides to set his monster. Turned out to be Warrior Digraph. So I think the right play in the scenario would have been to just attack with it. Because he already has a set monster to prevent the Wild T Storm one-turn kill combo, so this is excessively defensive. Anyways, I finally pick up my Digraph, and I attack his face down. He econs. See, if he played aggressively with this, he wouldn't have to econ because it would have been same attack, and just if I attacked into it, it would have just went even. Anyways, I'm forced to econ his Warrior Digraph so I can get a little jump on the board. Reclaim a little of the board advantage. I set my Blue Dragon Summoner just for the reason I mentioned earlier, so that he can't Wild Tornado Storm my entire board off and then go in for a one-turn kill. Anyways, he goes aggressive with his second Digraph, which also could have been used to go aggressive, I believe. I pick up that fish. And I decide to storm here. 2 Wild Tornadoes isn't actually going to get that much value because he doesn't have anything in the back row and only one face-up monster. Anyways, I have another Wild T Storm in my hand, so it doesn't matter that much. I go for my Gambage, roll that 4. Supremacy to tune myself back up a little. And I decided to go in with 1 Desert Twist and 1 Hain face down, because this counters his Desert Twister last Gambage play the next turn. I misplayed by going with Desert Twister first instead of Warrior Digraph, and this makes my Warrior Digraph die without getting in 1700 damage. But I think it didn't really matter all that much because he's going for the Gambage this turn. And that damage would have been, it wouldn't have mattered. He'd be at 100 anyway. Anyways, he rolls a 4 as well. So this is a very, even match, you would say. He gets 1 D-Twizzy out, sets his Wild Tornado to destroy it, and to destroy my Desert Twist. And he actually has enough fuel for a double Desert Twister. It's crazy. It's insane. He's got them doubles. But Hain saves my life because I can return the Desert Twister that didn't attack, and that will prevent me from dying. Okay, so I got my Desert Twist out now. I hit him with a little Retribution. I hit him with that Wild T and destroy it. So basically the same play he did. So I could destroy his Desert Twist. I summon my Blue Drag. I misplay once again by attacking with a Blue Drag first. This time, yeah, it should have been the Desert Twister first, because if it was Hain, then this would have been... Then Desert Twister would have been still on the field and he would have to return the Blue Dragon Summoner. But I was thinking it was Ladybug. Anyways, he sets 3 cards and calls it a turn. Doesn't want to suicide. I set Hane Hane, and I decide to suicide. He Wild T storms, and the reason he does this is because he clogged up his entire field, but he wants to go in with a smoke grenade on the Desert Twister. So he gets his 3rd Desert Twister out. That's pretty much, I think, every single monster in his deck at this point. So he smoke grenade his own Desert Twister, discards his last storm to get rid of the smoke, and picks off one of my Desert Twisters. So I'm glad I actually had another one left in my hand. Otherwise, it would have been a very sad day. So this Hane Hane returns his Desert Twister, and that's pretty much all she wrote, baby. With no cards left on the field. I summoned Desert Twister. Go in with that Storm. Actually, I use a D-Twist to pop it. And I go in for the direct attack with no cards left in hand and no cards left in the deck. Yeah, it was a Clown Fiesta match, but it was an interesting one. Very tempted to just go in with a Dark Magician. Yeah, instead of the Crystal Seer. We'll go with that. Where would I put Last Gambage Desert Twist right now? It's probably either 2nd or 3rd. Still pretty up there. Like, I saw a lot of people climbing within in Plat as well. Is chat really frozen? Hold up. I was also playing Last Gamble Kaiba Man for a bit, but it was bricking so often. Will I post some video about my climbing? The thing is, I didn't really record it off stream. It was all done off stream and I didn't really record it. Let me go ahead and vigilance that. Because if I don't, my Dark Magician is going to get removed. Glad to know that, Volt Louis. Yeah, that was a nausea. Because why not? Ooh, there goes Katetsu. Guessing this is Last Gamble Gear Feed. Either that or Victory Vipe. Things like that. Since I don't have a 3rd Vigilance, should I run a 2nd Knives or a 2nd Econ? I'd go with 2nd Knives then. I didn't get a SR. Have I seen DK'd 9 yet on the ladder? No, I haven't. How much money have I spent on this game? Probably like 35 bucks. Okay, so I'm very tempted to Dark Magic attack this. I don't think he's running Wild Tornadoes, since he's running Big Bang Shots. Ooh, Econ, yeah! No threats, right? No Wild T? This is a bit evil. Yeah, it's just Smoke Grenage. Ooh, DMG is in the building. A very tough choice we got on our hands here. What will you replace a 3rd dimensional gate for? Maybe Order to Charge? I'm not sure exactly. Darker Feminism Backhand! Chat frozen again? What is up with chat? And it's not really a Vic Vibe focused deck, so you probably don't need 3 power caps. I wonder what this guy is running. Okay, so this is one of the situations where it's better to go with the Crystal Seer first. I only have 1 Dunamis. What do you recommend for the 2 card slots? Kiyanshi or Jerry Beans? Good luck, Head Mixer. I'm currently at King of Games.
I set a card face down.
Yeah, I use Harpies.
Here we go.
Herpes! Weaponless Man 88 is now following. Thanks for the follow, bro. Alright, give me a DMG real quick, please. Okay, that's pretty good as well. I'm not gonna knock it. It's a pretty good pickup, if I do say so myself.
I choose this card. I summon a
Okay, so it's actually not chainable right now, so I'm thinking I should hold on to my dark magic attack. Because it might be better to just do that. If it turns out to be Security Orb or Wild Tornado. So it turns out to be a Venus deck.
I draw. Punk.
Would you still run 2 Jowls with 2 D gates? Maybe only 1.
Watch this. I summon a monster in attack position.
No summon, no problem, I guess.
From my hand.
White Elefante? Sure.
Spell.
Should I negate? Probably not. I don't really care.
I set
Yo, Clips Nation, is your name in the game Clips?
my turn.
I draw.
Oh, this is gonna be a dank AAA. Hopefully I don't run into a Wild Tornado or something. Were there a lot of Relinquished decks on your climb? Surprisingly, no. Relinquished has gone down in popularity severely.
Pathetic.
Embodiment of a
Check
blowfish.
my face down card.
He's gonna.
My continuous track activates.
They will all fall
Predictable.
to my dark magic attack.
Down card. I activate a quick play spell.
I shall wipe them all out. Oh, was ordered to charge the entire time. No monsters left on the field. Summon Dark Magician in attack mode. Go for direct attack. Told you I was the master. Cause I faced you, Clips, but I was on my secret name.
I draw.
Yeah, I got the King of Games.
This.
Okay, it's a Venus that's gonna get negated.
No way! I flip over my face down card.
My counter trap activate.
What rank are you right now, Creative Timothy?
My turn's over, Dweeb.
I draw.
Yeah, I won. I think I only faced you once.
Summon a monster.
From my hand.
Hit him with that Sage, baby. Hit him with that Prisma.
Very well. I special summon a monster. Battle.
No monsters left on the field. Declare direct attack. Told you I was the master. Okay, this one's a bit better. And this is probably when the 3 Sonics that didn't show up last game are probably gonna show up now. Am I gonna play ranked later? It depends how bad the queue times are. I'll show the duel room number again in a bit.
I'm counting on you. I summon a monster in attack position.
Yeah, those were some next top decks, my boy. You should have seen mine, Presto.
I activate an equip spell.
Okay, so this guy's got the Wonder Wajo right off the bat.
My turn is
It's
done.
my turn.
Good thing my Flame Ogre
I draw.
is gonna make it all Ogre for him. Get that 3-star demo popping.
I should
If I draw
this I activate.
Black Illusion Ritual, I just win. Oh, double Simone. Don't mind if I do.
From my hand.
I activate.
This is one of the better starting hands for this deck.
I summon a monster in. I activate my monster's effect.
I didn't pick up an SR yet, Night Rants. Ooh, that Flame Ogre Yami boost and the drop on the Senju.
Time to attack.
He's got an Ebola.
My monster's effect activates.
My turn.
A Dota 2 Vonmon's Extreme. Nice beam, J-Bait.
I draw. I set this card face down. Time to battle.
Pretty sure you get Econ Minha. I mean,
I attack with a monster.
how many thing you got?
You fool.
How many white keys you planning on using tonight? Do you really need 3 Sonic / Senjus? Yeah. In this deck, I'd say so.
I end my
Just for the consistency.
I draw.
Here we go. That's the boy I need.
from my hand.
Man, this deck feels so scummy yet so strong.
Ritual spell.
So this is why King Halo got hooked onto Switcheroo Link. Because of the power.
Now.
I ritual summon a monster. I activate my
Regular
monster's
GT is now falling. Thanks for the fall, bro. That's all she wrote, I guess.
That's
Scumbag Punch!
My monster attacks.
Fighter check!
From over.
Flaming Finisher! How good do you think a Swift Gaia deck would be for the qualis?
You win.
That's one deck that I actually did not try. Swift Gaia with the Storms and the Flash Assailants, but I think it would be pretty good.